In this video, we're going to go over the steps of how to create a circle pie graph. We're going to go over charting, frequency, relative frequency, converting percents to degrees, and creating your actual circle graph. So here's an example of how to chart your data. So in class, we asked a question about favorite color of t-shirts, and the options are listed on the left: white, red, and black. The second column, labeled frequency, is the number of students that were asked the survey question and what their response was. So the frequency of students who liked white t-shirts was 10, red was 12, and black was 28 students. The next column is titled relative frequency. Relative frequency is the number of students who chose that selection out of the total number of students asked. So we asked the students in the pod this question, that's why it's out of 50, and you can see that the frequency is then out of the total number of students asked. So the relative frequency of students who liked white t-shirts is 10 out of 50. The last column is converting that number into a decimal, which we've seen in a previous video. You simply divide the numerator by the denominator and it gives you your decimal. Next is converting that decimal to a degree. We know that a circle has a total of 360 degrees. What we're trying to find out is how many degrees is represented by our decimal number. So we take 360 and we divide it by our decimal. So 360, when we times it by our decimal, times 0.2 gets you 72 degrees. And for the next frequency, we get our total number in degrees. Then we need to create our circle graph. So using a compass, which I can't use on this software, so that's pretty good, you create a circle. You find the center of that circle, and using a ruler, you create a line to the center. This is where you're going to place your protractor. Your protractor is that half moon shape that has all those degrees on it. And it has a 0 degree here, and it has a center line here. You're going to line up this center line here and the 0 here. So the protractor kind of looks like it's on its side. Then you're going to find that first degree. So you'll use your protractor to find it. Once you have, and you draw a line from that to the center, and that's your first portion of your circle graph. Now you're ready to label your circle graph. So once you put on the degrees, and yours would look much neater than mine, you're going to label the different sections. So we know that, and we use degrees when we are labeling a circle graph. So we know that this section is 72 degrees. This section is 86 degrees because we rounded the nearest whole number, and this section is 202 degrees. And then we label the different categories, which was red, and I believe white, and black. Now don't forget, a really important part is the title. So the title for this would be the pod's favorite t-shirts. And that's how to make a circle graph.